All right. We can get going if you want.
Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's do it. I am super excited for this one. Again, we're going to be going over fast Amazon fixes, a guide to suspensions, reviews, all of those things that we hopefully don't have to deal with, but everybody does. But when you have to deal with it, how do you deal with it? How do you fix it? And how do you fix it fast? So I'm super excited for this presentation. John Cavendish, who is the founder of Seller Candies. I know you guys, that's your specialty, is getting in and fixing things fast and dealing with all those back end annoyances that have to be done to keep the ship running. Nobody wants to deal with them. So it's really nice to have people who are willing to get in, get their hands dirty. But I know today you're sharing basically how sellers can kind of fix it themselves and like guide to technical fixes. Is that correct?
Yes. So have your pen and paper ready. Take some screenshots, and yeah, thanks for hosting this, Elizabeth.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the word excited to get into it because it's flat files, but
I have a
definitely
very exciting share
excited
for
to
flat
hear.
files later. You're gonna love flat files after this presentation.
Well, I love bulk files, which is like the as equivalent of flat files. So
Okay.
I feel
You
like
like the bulky ones? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. No, and with that, do you want to give like a quick intro to yourself and then also go ahead, get us started?
Sure. I'm John. I founded Seller Candy 5 years ago. We're a team of 50 plus team members and ex-Amazon support agents based all over the world. We have a lot of people based in the Philippines because we hire directly out of Amazon support centers there, which gives us the best people. Well,
Nice.
the good ones gives us the best people. I'm sure everyone's had not such good experiences at some point. And yeah, here, this presentation is really just to give value and share exactly what Elizabeth said. So actually, I cut a lot of stuff out of it for this one. This is a shorter version, so we can get really
Mhm.
just on the fixes. So make sure you got your pen, your paper, and as they say, make notes like you're going to teach it to somebody else. That way you'll remember it. That's something I took away from an event I went to a decade, 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago. And I've since then, every time I go to an event, I make more notes than the presenter, and I can't read them
Nice.
afterwards. All right. Which is true. Okay, perfect. Should we get going?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. If you have any questions throughout, feel free to write them in. I'm going to open the chat box here too. Um, I see that Pompong's recorder joined. Welcome to the recorder. Just said the chat box works because the recorder could write there. Okay, so welcome everybody. So this presentation, as we said, is fast Amazon fixes. Can you see my screen? Yeah,
Yeah, I can. I can't see your screen.
perfect. Can you see the one that looks like slides?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, not like loads of windows all over the place.
No, thankfully not.
Awesome.
We're
Good. Perfect.
good.
That's exactly what I want to show you. All right. So, what we're going over today, how to fix three of the most critical seller central problems that we commonly work through at Seller Candy. And stay at the end, we'll give you the resources. So, some downloads, some useful stuff that you can take away with you at the end. So, selling on Amazon, just quickly about Seller Candy, should never be about running around in circles after Amazon seller support to fix what should be small issues, ruining your focus and taking eyes away from the big picture. Shouldn't be about having too much on your plate, so you don't know what to do first, whether to hire or train people or do it yourself. And it shouldn't be about not knowing what to outsource first, which wastes time and energy that should be spent on growing your business, not seeming busy. I know a lot of us have done stuff that makes us seem busy, but then get to the end of the day and you're like, oh, what did I do?
Oh,
Nothing.
yes.
We're also going to show you how to leverage expert assistants to create time and energy in your business. And I've actually deleted some of the other stuff, so I'm going to skip it. So, I'm John, co-founder and founder and CEO of Seller Candy. Well, we've served over 500 clients. Before that, I was a seller, sold a bunch of consulting, and I've run Amazon-related businesses for nearly the last decade, which is crazy because time flies when you're having fun or very stressed. So I'm a top-rated Amazon consultant. I get to speak at conferences and all sorts of fun stuff now. So let's actually get into the content. So solving seller central issues effectively. how you solve problems faster, more efficiently, and without setting up intricate systems. And it's a Monday morning. That's actually a Wednesday morning, but it's a Monday morning. You wake up and it's a suspended listing. And we all know now he's retired. Now he's back from retirement. Who's behind these suspended listings, don't we? Do you guess? It's Dr. Bezos. And so this is exactly how agents go about solving a suspended listing. So I'm going to take you through the process. This is more of a detailed process, and then we can break it down step by step. So first, you raise a case to Seller Central, Seller Support, asking what they believe it is. There is method behind Ad Madness. What you need to do is write down the case ID number here, because we're going to use this later. So raise a case asking what they think the problem is. Then you're going to raise another case asking Amazon to enable your category listing report if it's not already enabled in your account. So the reason for having this is it's basically a flat file, a bulk file for all of your listings, which will allow you to make edits even if it's been suppressed. And most of the time, your listing's been suppressed because it just has. So that's what we need. I'm going to skip this one and go next. Then we have top 5 issues. So these are the top 5 issues that we deal with for suspended listings. And I'm going to give you the overarching process for each. And then in the end, I'll give you the detailed process. So if it's a product policy violation, we have to sanitize the listing. What we mean by that is delete all of the current content from the category listing report, make it super boring, replace the content with generic terms and basic explanation of the product. There should be a T there. And upload this as a bulk file, upload and note down the reference number. So now you've got the case ID from the start, you've got the bulk file reference number from this step here. Second one, if it's an authenticity issue, a second most common one, we have to annotate invoices. What that means is you have to find your invoices. Hopefully you've got them stored in a nice, easy to access place. And then we annotate them. Because imagine somebody had 20 seconds to check what they're looking at. Your invoice probably doesn't have the same name as your product unless your manufacturer labeled them with all the keyword stuffing in the name. So like, this is the product, here's the arrow, this is why the names don't match. So big red box saying, pointing arrow saying this is the product. And you upload the invoices to Amazon so they can see the source of the products. Pretty simple, but if you skip the annotate step, you're going to go around in circles a bunch of times, a lot of the time, till they actually notice it's the right one. Okay, number 3, IP violations. So IP violations, it's actually a notification from the brand owner. So you get a notification from Amazon with an email from the brand owner and who's actually complained, which is awesome because it means you can email them. So you use the email provided in the notification to email and ask for clarification. Like, oh, I'm sorry, didn't know I was doing that. Can you please give me some more information so I can not do it again? And this is where you have to track all correspondence because you'll get people not responding to you, whether that's in bad faith because they've done something sketchy, or because they don't want to respond to you. So if they don't respond after 5 attempts, you can use this evidence and raise a case to Amazon for tracking to remove the violation. Amazon doesn't want people to be acting in bad faith, and if they're ignoring you, then something isn't quite right here because they made the request and immediately don't respond. It's very strange. They're doing something dodgy. Make sense so far? I'm talking very fast, I know. So, for product policy, a product safety issue. So, safety issue means you've let your voice of the customer get too far, or there's been one major safety issue. So you review the issues raised by Amazon. They'll say, these are the issues, this is what it says. And then you need to create a plan of action to address these points, even if you don't think they're valid. So this is a big one. There's a lesson in Amazon, which our team preaches, which is, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Do you want to make money? We all want to make money. So no matter what it is, even if it's caused by Amazon reselling one of your returns, for example, which is a really common one, as a used sold as new, then just write it. So cover, accept the issue. This shouldn't have happened. Oh no. The steps taken immediately. Usually this would be a bin check. We've requested an Amazon to do a bin check and check all the units in the warehouse. So a bin check is a check of all the units in the warehouse. And a plan that will never happen again. So we have checked with our manufacturer. and they won't be manufacturing used products. Nah, or we will be doing a safety inspection at the manufacturer to check they're all of the right quality and not unsafe. But basically, pretty simple. Then you upload it as a response to the case. This is where you don't want to get into arguing with Amazon because it's so slow. They are so slow in responding. And if you get into an argument, it's just going to take longer. And it's not like, apart from getting your ego stroked, if you win, you just lose money. And it doesn't really matter. You can argue with them after you've accepted everything else and after you're back in live selling. And the fifth one, hazmat. So if it's a hazmat issue, you hopefully want to know if your product's a hazmat product. Hazardous means hazardous material. So either your manufacturer should have told you, you should know, you've done the testing, you have a safety data sheet, an SDS sheet. If applicable, upload your safety data sheet from your supplier to Amazon or yourself. If it's not applicable, you go to the search bar, you find the SDS exemption sheets in the search bar for your category, because there's one for your category. You fill it in and you upload it, and that's it. You are magically done. So what if this doesn't work? So you've done all the steps that John said, doesn't work. Then you have to do a delete relist. So what this means is you delete the listing, you wait for 24 hours, and then you relist it. And this is where it's a bit scary for some people the first time, because you've spent all this time growing this product, creating this listing, getting these reviews, and then you have to delete it. But what I can tell you is Amazon doesn't store the listings in your account. They store it in their central catalog. So you delete it, it sucks, but you get it back again. When you relist it, all your reviews are there, your sales history is still in your account. So it's fine to do, and it's the quickest way to get it back if nothing else is working. So delete, wait 24 hours, and relist. What if you're still having issues? This is Amazon. This is when the real time comes in, and the best way to talk to them is on the phone. But we have just saved ourselves 2 weeks, because when we first had the problem, we raised a case. So we're on the phone to them, like, hey, John, hey, Amazon. I've got a problem with my listing. Like, okay, that's no problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise a case to figure out if our back-end team know what it is. And you say, oh, no, it's okay. I raised a case when I started. Here's the case ID. And they go, oh, all right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a bulk file upload to your listing to see if I can update it and get it live, or a flat file upload. You say, oh, I've already done that too. Here's the bulk file upload number. I go, oh, all right, well, you've done those two. That's great. You're very smart. We'll have to do a delete relist. Like, oh, cool, I did that too. Here's the evidence of that. Here's a screenshot. Oh, okay, well, that's my toolkit exhausted. I'm going to have to put you through to somebody who can actually do something, whether that's escalation team or leadership team. And we've just saved days of going backwards and forwards doing all these things, because every one of those things is a 48-hour turnaround time to check it works or not. So that's how we save it. And then hopefully we stay on the phone and cry a bit, and then eventually you get through to the leadership team, and then they refresh your listing and you get it back. So it saves like a week of time. And there wasn't a magic pill. We didn't slip them any magic pills or $100 bills. And if I can tell them exactly how to solve the issue, they can follow my process rather than me have to go around in circles and just take the next step and take a nibble every time. So to break it down, we download Amazon's flat file, the category listing report. You make edits, you delete, wait 24 hours, relist, and you just call them until it happens. Or you do the other steps if it's something else wrong with it, but these are the biggest one. If you like infographics, you can take a screenshot of that. Download, edit, delete, and then call. It's got a nice little handcuff to the phone. You just need to keep on the phone until it happens. So we're flipping the resolution process on its head. Rather than taking their lead, we take the lead. How about another? Yeah, it's where you have to be the audience, Elizabeth.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I forgot. Yeah. Nobody else can chime in.
No one else is here. No, plenty of people in the attendees, but we can't see them. So, you have an unfair bad review. What do you do? And we all know who's rejecting your hard work on the other end. It is still Dr. Bezos. There he is. Okay, so this is exactly how our agents go about removing bad reviews. Just for everyone to make sure we're on the same page, there's two types of way buyer can leave reviews. There's feedback, which is on the seller account, which is about the purchase process,
Mhm.
how sellers treating their customers, and you can check it on the seller profile page. And then there's product reviews. I'm sure everyone knows what a product review is. So quickly to remove seller feedback, just because it's not as easy as it used to be, log into seller account, go performance feedback, find the negative feedback, and then click the request removal button at the bottom. And the cool thing is, if you're an FBA seller, you can pretty much remove anything that isn't customer service. Because Amazon takes care of everything else for FBA sellers. They take care of shipment, they take care of everything else. And if it's a product review, then product reviews aren't supposed to be on your seller account because it's not necessarily
Mhm.
designed Amazon to be the owner and seller being on the same account. So it's great. You can remove a lot. If Amazon refuses to remove the feedback, which they do a lot now, don't let the
Mhm.
case close. Just transfer it to your assistant, or if you don't have an assistant, you're your assistant. Keep the case open, and until you don't let it close, and just keep it open until they remove it. As long as we're not violating terms of service, so it's not a customer service issue, and we're not FBM,
Mhm.
then we should be able to get it removed. So, second one, product review. So if it's a product review, a slightly different process. First, we can report abuse. So if it's on the listing, we can report abuse. Was this review helpful to you? It needs to be a clear reason, and this clear reason has to be within Amazon's guidelines. When it's not within Amazon's guidelines, that's called fraud, and Amazon will eventually crack down on that. So just make sure it's within Amazon's guidelines, and then just click report as inappropriate. Second way of doing it is to contact seller support. So you can raise a case in the back end. You can take a screenshot of this template, fill it in. Like, this is the problem with the review. Again, same reason. Just write it in there. And then the third way, which is the best, if you're a brand owner and you have brand registry, you can get the order number of negative reviews, like 1-star reviews,
Mhm.
and send them one message. So it's got to be a great message, and you can't bribe them or ask them to remove their negative review. So it needs to be a great message, solving the problem and hoping they'll respond, and then you can help them and they might edit their review. Make sense?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
Not seeing any, which by the way, if anyone who's listening in has any questions on any of this, or this is brought up any like, oh wait, how do you do that? Or how often do you guys scan for things?
Mm,
Or anything that you could possibly think of, feel free to drop it into either the Q&A chat or just the regular
yeah.
chat. And John will make sure to get it answered. But
Yeah.
so far, I think it's been very clear and straightforward, which is fantastic, especially
Awesome.
when you're dealing with like technical things like this of like, hey, there's multiple steps and multiple things to be aware of. I think you've done a really great job outlining all of them.
Oh, thank you. It's almost like we do this every day. But yeah,
Oh,
we've done this presentation so many times, but it gets better every time. So if you watched it,
yes.
it gets better every time. And if there's more of me talking to myself. So, John, now you've told me how to fix some of the hardest to solve issues in my account, but what if I have a technical problems during the update? Well, John, that's a great question. Uh-oh, you have a flat file error code and you're stuck. How to get unstuck? Yeah, we all know who's behind flat files, don't we? No, it's not here. I didn't do the slide this time. So this is the secret sauce you need to solve flat files. There are 12 most common types of error codes that we get at Seller Candy. These are those error codes. And I was going to make a complicated slide of how to solve flat file errors, which would have taken about 50 slides. But instead, I just PDF'd our SOP from the back, and I put a QR code. If you would like to download it, just scan the QR code, and you can download our SOP. So the process becomes check the attached document, run through the steps, and celebrate that you finally got flat files to work because you've got our SOP. And hopefully it's very useful to you. Is to us. So, for example, you have this error code. You check the flat file, you run through the major steps, and that's it. So just make sure you've got that picture of that QR code or you've scanned it now so you can download that. 3, 2, grab your phone. 1, Okay. So, does this help?
I can imagine it does. I know dealing with bulk file, like add bulk file error codes is scary enough and annoying enough,
Hmm.
but I think flat files are most intimidating to people because they deal with listings and you screw up a flat file, you can really screw up your catalog. So having an error code and not just the error code of like, hey, this is what it is, but a process to get out of it and unstuck, I think is phenomenal. So definitely make sure you grab that, or if you're listening to the replay, you can get a copy of that as
Yes.
well.
Awesome. Thank you. So, we've only had 20 minutes or 22 minutes here. And this was supposed to be a short webinar, so I just want to share a few things at the end. How would you like a personal one-on-one session to review how you could apply this to your business?
Mm.
So it could be a technical issue, could be how to solve something particular. I'm opening up 12 slots with a Seller Candy team where we can talk about anything. It could be a technical issue, could be your team and how you've got your assistant set up or anything set up around your team, or anything going on in your Amazon business. That's what we do, but really on the technical side. Last time we did this, we found a suppressed listing, which had been suppressed for months and cost the seller, I think,
Mm.
tens of thousands of dollars. They'd given up because they couldn't figure it out, and we got it back in 3 weeks, I think.
Mm.
Another seller was missing inbound shipments, like $7,800, I think. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We always find money on the table, and I'm sure if you have revenue sitting on the table too. So this is just for you, anyone that might have revenue sitting on the table. Normally, these are $497, but for the first 12 people that book in, you'll get it for free.
Mm.
Free is no money. So if you want one, there's a link in the chat, or if you're on the replay, in the email. And please don't share this link. This link is just for this webinar. As you can see, it says Junglr in it. And it's just for people that are attending here. So we have a few minutes for some Q&A. And yeah, thank you for being here, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone has any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. And I would imagine the process you guys go through in this free consulting call, it sounds like it's pretty technical, like everything else you deal with, in terms of how do you go through and find all those things? There's a lot.
Yes. So I've actually got a process I share in a longer webinar of everything we go through. So we go through like
Mm.
6 areas of the account, and then we go through them in detail. But we dive deep basically and do a full gap analysis of anything that's missing in the account or anything that's messed up in the settings, or we
Mm.
find silly, very frustrating stuff like inventory placement service being turned on, and like
Mm.
one of the people was lost $160,000 from having inventory
Oh boy.
placement service turned on, and they didn't need it. Yeah, ideally we just want to check for everything, especially if you're a larger seller. There's just so much stuff that slips through, and you're like, it can't be costing me that much. And you add it up, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I could buy a nice
Yeah.
Ferrari, not a Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, with 100 that holy cow.
160 grand, probably not a Ferrari. I don't know. Or
So,
7
so
grand.
it's worth looking even if you're not sure if you have, because there might be some sellers listening and are watching the replay that say like, oh, okay, I know I've been dealing with the suppression issue, or I have, these kind of back end technical things I've been trying to figure out. But you're saying it's well worth booking if you are unsure if you have any issues, because you guys will find them for them.
Yeah, that's the idea. We just sit down with you. We go through the account. We look for anything really. If you're interested in seller candy, then we can tell you about that. And if you're not, we can just share some resources with you and hopefully help out.
That is a fantastic offer. I would
Wow.
definitely say, especially it sounds like it is well worth the cost, but today the cost is zero. So
It's very
if
well worth
you
the cost,
haven't,
though.
very, very much worth the cost. So even if you are not aware of an issue, if you want at the very least, what you pay no money and learn, hey, I got everything working for me, which is fantastic. But at least you've had someone go over and you can have confidence moving forward that there's no issues in your account. How often do you find no issues? I can't imagine that's very often at all.
I mean, I think everyone has some sort of issue.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about accounts. But yeah, almost everyone has
Well, I
some
mean,
sort of issue. Blanket statement, pretty much. But yeah, almost everyone has some sort of issue. I think I saw a question come up earlier, which was, I have a suspended listing. Can I talk to your team about that? Yes, you can talk about anything you want. And even if you don't have a problem right now, as Eizabeth said, this is like a one-time only thing that happens during a
Mhm.
webinar. So unless you can find another webinar at some point, we're doing the same offer, which I don't know when we'll be doing it. Now is the time to book in because literally I don't know when the next one is. That is also
Awesome.
because the
No,
team
I
don't have
definitely recommend you grabbing that. Like I said, it's costs a little bit of your time, but I think that's well worth it. I mean, to have somebody else go through that, and at the very least, they can see kind of what you guys are going through, how you guys are doing it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys, the secret sauce sounds like is your people and processes, but
Yeah.
it would be, I would say, it's definitely beneficial to grab that for sure. And yeah, no, thanks for the offer. That's very generous.
Thank you. We are here to serve. Um, and make money sometimes as well. So we do obviously sell services being supporting with anything technical in the back end. Like what we believe about Seller Candy is the worst part about selling on Amazon is dealing with Amazon. So we make it so you don't need to talk to seller support again. So we're like an addition to your team. We don't do the stuff that Junglr does. We just do dealing with all the technical stuff that nobody wants to do,
Yeah,
basically.
no, I know we have clients who like they may have a team or they have someone who kind of deals with it. Sometimes it's out of your wheelhouse. Maybe it's a new thing you've never discovered before or had never had to run across, or it's just like, you can reach the end of your rope and you need a little additional help. Or there are some clients who are like, hey, I don't even want to have to hire an internal team. I would prefer to just outsource that. I know you worked with some of our clients when there's been issues and we're like, hey, we may not manage that ourselves, but I definitely know a guy.
Well, it's not me
Somebody's
personally.
got to do it.
Someone else who's the
Somebody's got
guy.
to do it.
Um, Love it. Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth. If anyone has any questions, we can ask. Otherwise, we'll close the room in a minute. I've shared the link in the chat to everyone.
Mhm.
As I said, don't share the link, but if you're watching this or the replay, then you've got the link. And yeah, looking forward to connecting with some of you soon.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have a couple minutes. We'll count down unless somebody's got a question. But again, I think the presentation was so straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. There was a QR code scan. If you didn't scan that, again, there'll be a replay, so you can definitely catch that. But I think it was very, very helpful. Really good walkthrough. It looks like there is one question coming in. Someone said, if I would like to make corrections to a listing, should I do it through the category listing report or the more general report?
Good question. It depends how you created the listing in the first place, I think. If you created it with a flat file in the first place and you have a copy of that, you can just do the flat file update. If you created it on the account and it won't, if you created it through listing, what's it called, the listing tool,
Mhm.
something like that, then you can either update it there. If it won't update, then you could download the category listing report. Make sure you delete all the other listings so you don't accidentally flash all your listings. And yeah, then just do the updates there. That's why I would do it.
Very helpful. Yeah, if there's any other questions, you got a couple seconds, we'll squeak them in. But otherwise, again, we can end out and very much appreciative of you coming here, sharing today, making technical things seem simple and straightforward. I know it's what you said, 9 years in the space. It's 9 years of experience to try and make it simple for us. So we definitely appreciate the knowledge shared.
Well,
Very helpful.
thank you for having us, as I've said, and yeah, we appreciate Junglr. All right. So thanks, Eizabeth. Thank you for everything, and thank you for everyone to attending. And yeah, have a great day.